All right, welcome back to Drone Pilot Moonshine. I got Apricot here. Trying to remember, I must have had 25, 30 pounds of apricots in here. I had quite a few. But we are going to make this. This is done running. We're going to go ahead and do it today, and we'll get it in the pot and get it started cooking. I did have to double check. I can't remember. I think I did 8 pounds of sugar in this instead of the 10 on that. So we had a lot more apricots this time. So I went, let's back off on the sugar, see how the apricots do, see if we can draw some more flavor out. The apricot. So that's what we're gonna do this run today. Let's see how much moonshine we get out of these two. These are 7.5 gallon carboys that I have. So 15 gallons. This is a 10-gallon pot. We'll usually, by the time I get the apricots and everything in here, it usually fills this thing up pretty well. So it evens it out with the liquid once I get the apricots out of it. All right, stay tuned. Let me switch over and start getting this in here. Well, actually, it'll be that movie magic or whatever they. I always love when those guys go boom and it switched over. That I won't do, but anyway. All right, hang on. All right, I just wanted to show you. I'm gonna scoop. Did I do it again? No, I'm just scooping out some of the apricots instead of pouring it in, and then I'll pour this through the bag. I found it a little, I guess, easier to just scoop it out first on that. So we'll get most of the juices out, but I'm gonna pour this into the bag after I get the buckets in there. So we'll squeeze out all the juice, because these apricots do hold any fruit you do, anytime you do fruit, they will hold a lot of alcohol inside them. So I like squeezing them out. I've had people tell me don't do that. I don't know why. I would think you would want to, but I like to. So I just wanted to show you. I'm going to scoop these out. And I've just got a thing. It drains a little bit. But these are kind of broken up, so it will drain. Let's see. Drains a little bit out, but yeah, there's a little bit of water. We'll get most of it out through here. And then get this, pour this in and try and sift through. Apparently my dog, I don't know if he's in camera or not, likes to lick the jars. I could see when I was making this, I got sugar spilt here and there, the sweet stuff. Because if you watch the, when I made the mash, I was worried about I filled up, and I meant to, and I don't want to, I meant to film that. But I came back out later on that day, and sure enough, these things were filling up and about to foam over. So I had to take out about a gallon. I got to check my film, see if I did that or not. I filled up a gallon of stuff, and then that leveled it off, and we were fine from there on that. But yeah, my worries did, I was right about that. It did foam up and overflow. I don't know what I call it foaming up, but it was like the apricots filled up with water and just expanded and filled the whole extra top that I had left, the space. And it filled up one of the bubblers. So I had to get some out. And then I poured it all. I waited a day or two, and it settled back down on that, and I just poured it back in, and it was just fine. So again, but I just wanted to show you here. All right, let me go ahead and pause you guys and finish this. All right, let me pour this bucket in that I scooped out of here. Let's see what we get out of there. Let's pour this in. Hopefully it doesn't all come out at once. A little bit. Oh shit, that's what, oh well, that's about all of it. So, before it starts running down the sides, because I got her full. There we go. So that was all the apricots scooped out. There we go. Get this thing. So there's quite a bit of juices coming out of there. It'll drain for a little bit. So I like just twisting it a little bit and seeing what we can squeeze out of there. Alright, I just wanted to show you how much I scooped out of there. Let me pause you guys. If I can do it without, let me grab a fresh towel up here. Got a bunch of dirty ones. Alright, hang on. Alright, I just wanted to show you how much I have left on this. So that's what I got. So it's all down to that. It's pretty much done dripping. I've squeezed it out and we'll just throw away this. I was telling myself, I wonder if you can make like a moonshine pie out of all that apricot, but it probably tastes like crap. Fermenting. Alright, hang on. Alright, let's go. I went in and emptied the bag. Let's go ahead and get this in. Get the rest of the stuff in here. See if we can do this without spilling anything too much, making too big of a mess. Remember, lift with your knees, not your back. Splash it all over me. I probably drove to the store right now. Probably smell like alcohol. Police would be like, "You been drinking?" "No, just making." There we go. Probably should have rinsed the bag out a little bit, but oh well. Yeah, the bag's a little clogged up with minuscules from squeezing it. May have to rinse the bag. Or find a spot where it's not clogged up. You can see how orange that is, so it's a little clogged up there. All right. Now my hands are all slippery. Just what I need to do is pick up that slippery glass. All right, let's try this again. I have to watch when I fill this up because there are little indents. And it'll start, I think it's not to the top yet, and it'll start flowing out those little indents. I'm assuming that's for sending something there to drain. Something. Come on. Yeah, we're gonna have to rinse this bag. I was hoping we didn't, but I should have. Hang on. Let me rinse the bag out so we get some free flow going here. All right, we got jar 1 in there. Let's see what we can do about getting jar 2 in. Let's get this started. I had to rinse this bag out a couple times. So, all right, let's get this one in. Maybe it'll go smoother. Ah. Oop. Fill that. Get it all in there. There we go. Worked out good. All right, there we go. So that's going in there pretty good. I know I could start the fire, but I get all the heat up and then it's hot. I'd rather just wait until I get it all in there before I start the fire under this thing, just so I don't have to endure the heat coming off the burners on that. Otherwise, yeah. All right, let me go ahead, pause you guys, and get it all in here. Hang on. All right, we got it all in there. She is pretty full. She is about up to that line, which is, I got to be careful filling this thing. I normally like it somewhere around here, so I've got plenty of cap on here, but we'll go ahead and run this and see. And next time, yeah, I think I'm going to definitely paying closer attention. Live and learn, so on this, but yeah, we definitely got a full tank here. It's not like way up to the top. It's like right here at this rib, maybe a little below on that, just below that. Yeah, it's probably right about there, just above the solder line right here on that. So we'll get this going. Let me rinse some stuff and then I'll fire this thing up. All right, hang on. All right, I thought I'd just show you what we got going on here. Here's the little doggy. And so you can see where we're at on there. So I just wanted to show you that. Looks like orange juice, don't it? Or apricot juice, anyway. All right, hang on. All right, let's get this thing fired up. Got it set up, got the tank on here. Let's see if we can do this. Let's blow off our mustache. Turn this on a little bit. Maybe a little more. Come on. There, okay. Get a little air. And we are flowing. Alright, that'll take a little bit to cook and I can set up the rest of it. I did forget to make ice this time, so I'm going to have to rotate my water a little more. But my wife said, doesn't matter if you forgot or not, there was no room in the freezer, so either way I couldn't have made ice. Alright, let's let this warm up and we will come back when we got it all put together. Alright, I just wanted to show you, I got the still set up, got everything in there. Let me turn you around and show you what we got going here. Alright, so, let me back up a little bit. So, there's the still, all set up. We got all the thermostats in there. We're at what? About 120 or 50 Celsius on that. And at least at the tank anyway, the thing, we're still just at 100 degrees and we got nothing over here, the thumper, yet. But got my water set up. Pumps in from here, goes down and around over to the condenser, and then back into this, and then it pumps it back into the big tank on that. So that's what we got set up. Of course, we got no ice, so we'll have to rotate the water. All right, I'll bring you back in when we're back up to temperature. Hang on. Okay, I just wanted to show you where we're at. We're almost, it's going to start running here pretty soon, but I just wanted to let you see the temperatures that we have here. Let me turn you around. So the pot, we're running at what? About 190 right now on that. The cap is about 180, and this is about 170 over here. So we should start getting, haven't got anything out yet, but we should start getting something here pretty quick on that. All right, stay tuned. And just like that, we're starting to get some alcohol, or at least the 4 shots anyway. Let me turn you around. And there's starting to drip right there. It's not, except it's not coming down the thing. There we go. Now things scooted out a little bit. Okay, so we're at 180 when it started coming out. We'll still collect it as the 4 shots, just to be safe. I don't want any bad stuff in there at all, so we'll keep collecting, and then after I get a little bit and I'm comfortable, because let's see, what's it smell like? Smells like alcohol, but just to be safe, I don't need any poisoning or anything like that. So all right, hang in there. Let's fill up this, or at least collect a little bit, the 4 shots first. Hang on. All right, let's swap this jar out. Here. And start our first jar. There we go. And then we'll see what the, probably check this to see what the proof is, because this is, there's no nail polish remover in that. That came out smelling alcohol, but just to be safe, we collected a little bit. And of course, that first jar will probably end up going back into the next run on that. So kind of double up on the safety there. All right, hang on. Let's let this fill up. Get out of there. Get out of there. All right, let's swap this jar out. See, we'll have to check and see what our proof is on that. Cover on. Smells good. Hang on, let's get you guys changed around so I can do the proof. All right, let's see what we got on our first jar. The dog is tangled up around the chair, but he'll be fine. Hate when I spill that. All that you can do though, right? All right, let's see what we're coming out as. Holy crap. About 165. Thought it was 170 for a minute there. And it's pretty high up there, so a lot of sugar content there. All right, that's coming out wonderful. Wonderful. Let's put it back in here. And let's see, do I have a pen over there? I used to have a pen. Hang on a second. Sorry to get out of, I do have a pen over here. All right. Alright, there we go. So this is jar 165, and apricot. Okay, there we go. Alright, hang on, we'll get the other jar going now. Alright, let's change this out. Got another jar. See what we got here. Alright, hang on. Alright, let me grab, oh, I didn't grab the jar, did I? Let me get the jar. Here we go. Alright, let's see what this one is. Alright, Bubbles, what do we think we got? Ooh, still got 160 in there, you think? We'll find out. We are at just at 160. Man, that was a good guess on the bubbles. Alright. So this is jar 2. We lost about, what, 5 proof on that? So that's not bad. Jar 2, 160. Alright, hang on. Are we working? Okay, we're working. Alright, this jar 3 coming out here. This out. Now we're still pretty high proof, but it's only jar 3, so we're pretty good. That's the water. We need to change that water here pretty soon. Alright, let's see what we got over here. Change you guys out. Hang on. Well, let's see if I got my head in the shot this time. Checking the last one. Notice I didn't have my head in the shot, so. Alright. You think 155? Let's take a look. Gotta get me a new wine barrel here. We filled right up, didn't we? Okay. Yeah, about 155, so hanging in there, losing about 5 per, and my dog just took the camera away. Hang on. Alright, let's try this again. Notice I didn't have the shot, so hopefully I got my head in the shot this time. Let's do this. Just gotta get a new wine barrel. Oop. We are at, I know, we're hanging in there about 160 on that. Maybe 168, somewhere in there. So we're pretty close. We haven't dropped very much, so still got a pretty good run going here. Jar 3. Mark this. There we go. All right, hang on. Let me pause you. All right. Alright, we are on jar 4. Let's get jar 4 going here. Roll this out. What do you think? 150? We'll see. Alright, let's switch you around. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Funnel. Ooh, overflowed that baby. I can't believe I did that. Alright, let's see where we're at. We are at 150. Alright, I'm getting. Can't say I'm getting good at it. I'm just getting lucky on my guesses here. On a second. Oop. Alright, I don't know what happened. It didn't, when I videotaped measuring jar 4, for some reason it didn't take. But anyway, I just wanted to show you. So jar 4 came out at 150 or so. That's the jar 4. And that's it. Alright. Alright, that is jar 5. Right there. Let's switch this out. Coming out a little faster, but it is what it is. Almost full. Alright, good enough. And on there. Let's see. 1002, so within 2 seconds, 150 again. Let's see. Swap you around. See if I can just turn you and get you motivated there. Okay. Let's see what this is. We are at, I can read this, it's spinning around. Nope, came down to 140, so jar 5 came out at 140. A little bit lower. All right. All right. This is jar 6. Change this out. Jar 6. Let's see what the proof is. Maybe 135. Let's see. Switch you guys around. I'll just move you around here to the proofing station. Oops. Hopefully I get my head in there. All right. Let's see what we got here. Really got to clean up this room. And let's see what we got on the proof. About 130. What did I say, 135? So? Pretty close. There we go. We're getting there. Jar 6. All right, hang on. All right, this is the last jar. It's running so slow. So, let's see. So that's jar 7. I have to measure it. Ooh. Something on this before I turn this off. But that's just not big enough. Okay. You want to hand tighten that too. I don't want to kill the. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's kill the gas. Just hate to see this thing go like that. So, all right. Kill the gas. Put that off there. Okay. This up. And that's pretty much stopped. So we'll check the proof of that here in a second. But I just wanted to open up the system so it doesn't implode on itself. But anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button, and we're still going to proof this last jar. It came out pretty clear, but it was coming so slow. Let me turn you around and we'll proof it real quick. What proof this last jar came out at, but it's good and clear. That is about 120. The last jar came out, 130 actually. 128, somewhere in there. So there we go. So that was 7 jars. So what, I got 1 gallon and 3/4 out of it. Ooh, careful with that. And we are done. And like I say, thank you for watching. Hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. Thank you.